Hey.
What's up? You made this beat? No.
It's our friend.
Give him a shout out. Give him a shout out.
The beat.
Shout out to T-Mac Tequila.
Hey, what's up? Right? You trying to rap over this shit.
Yay! Welcome back to Pick Your Brain Podcast, a platform to showcase creative, social issues, mental health, and community empowerment. It's your boy, DJ Asthmatc, the DJ who takes our breath away.
It's Simone.
What up, good folks? It's Mike D. What is good?
And today, we have a special motherfucking guest,
What
y'all.
up, what
Let's
up?
go.
We out here. Rocky G in the building. San Jose, what's up?
Forget about it.
Thank y'all for having me, man. This is so dope to be here in this wonderful space and this dope-ass podcast. I really appreciate it, y'all.
You came all the way from the city too, right?
Yeah, man.
Damn,
I was
man.
busting through traffic real quick. It was cool. It's always nice, though. Like, I always love coming out here. The fog clears up. It gets that nice, like, San Jose sepia that I know. Like, every time I come out here, it's just orange for some reason. Like,
Just
always.
Wait, did you say orange?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like the vibe. Like every time, it's like I just get sun, like no matter what. It's like San Andreas. Like you ever play GTA? Like that's what San Jose looks like. to me. Like,
Okay.
it's just that vibe. You know, I love it out here. And then like this, I'm in the city. It's like gray all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's always foggy and shit. So I love it. Thank y'all for having me. It's tight. You know.
Well, come through, man. Whenever
Hell yeah.
whenever you want to kick it, just blast it black, come through, man.
Yeah, man. When there's no traffic like that, it
Yeah.
only took like 45. It wasn't that bad. You know, there's some shit to do out here. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was also saying he really loved the shop, man. He said it
shit
would be
look
dope
cool.
for a hip hop show or something.
Yeah. Things are opening up, so definitely we'll open it up. We'll have some open mics. We'll have some performances. We know we have a lot of artists here locally trying to hustle, so we definitely want to give that space and give them the opportunity. I'm also like because I'm not open till like 11 to 7, so I'm trying to do some yoga in the morning. If folks are interested, let's go.
Hot yoga. Let's do it.
You know,
Hot yoga? Shit. That shit is crazy, bro. Bikram yoga? Oh my God. Okay, so Rocky, first, let's introduce yourself to the listeners. Who are you, man?
What's up? I'm a artist based here in the Bay Area. I live in San Francisco, California. I'm originally from the DMV on the East Coast. Grew up in Maryland, lived in DC for a minute, and then came out here for school. And then I just like embraced the community because the community embraced me. I did this program called PEP for a little bit. I taught Balboa High School, Filipino Studies, and then like ever since then, I've just been like pushing hard on the music. I finished at State, and like I'm just doing my thing, working at a weed club. So like, you know, I'm just like hustling and just trying to survive. You know, do things for my family, do it for me, do it for my partner, and like, you know, I'm just loving the Bay right now. This is where I'm at for my 20s, and like I just want to stay out here for now. Probably go down to SoCal a little later in my 30s. You know, see what's up. And I just keep stacking money, you know what I mean? And being there for the community, doing what I can, you know, being part of this puzzle. You know, that's what I am. Straight up.
Yeah.
Nice.
A puzzle. Can you touch on that a little bit more?
I mean, like, you know, we got UGAT, we got me, we got you, we got all these people in our community here, in the Filipino community, in the brown community, in the artist community, in the Bay Area, and then like where we at in the country too. Like I got 2 sisters living in New York, you know what I mean? And they still part of me and shit. So I'm saying is like, you know, I can't do everything that I want to do with like with my artistry and stuff, but what I can do, you just got to keep pushing forward it, you know what I mean? Like y'all doing this podcast, like it's hella dope, you know, all I can do is support it because like, y'all right where y'all need to be. You know what I mean? Like this is tight. So y'all giving me an opportunity to speak. You're giving other artists an opportunity to speak. So that's what I mean by puzzle. Like, you know, we all out here supporting each other and we all fit, you know. We all belong. We all got a space here, you know.
That's right. And in addition, you know, we're influencing people, right? We're touching, we are educating.
Yeah.
And so like no matter where you at in life, you can touch people, you know what I mean? So
Hell yeah, I see you got Journey for Justice there. You know what I mean? Like I see all the community like in the shop and like with us here in this circle. So like I love it. I love it.
Let's build.
Community empowerment, y'all. All right, first question for you, Rocky. So, you know, you are a rapper, right? So who are your 3 biggest influences from the rap game? That could be a combination of lyrical, flow, beats, etc., etc. Top 3.
You don't have to mention me, it's so cool. It's good.
For sure. Man, like when I hear that question, like I think about like when I was younger and like who inspired me to really rap and like really like hip hop. And I would say like when I first heard Del, the Funky Homo Sapien, and then Yay, like everything from Graduation Under. I really like Twisted Dark Fantasy. And I would also say Most because it's flow. And then like fourth, I'd have to say RZA because RZA sounds crazy as fuck. And I was like, damn, I need to sound like that. Like, I don't want to just sound normal. Like, and if you notice, like all those people got like specific voices and flows and shit. And that's what I really liked about it. That's why people like Kendrick, you know, they got these crazy ass voices and shit. And sometimes it doesn't work for everyone. Like not everyone likes Chance, but like some people like it. Like, so that's just what I liked about that type of scene and that type of vibes with hip hop. Like, people can have their own styles and inflections with just their voice, and that's what I really liked about those specific artists, you know?
Yeah, it's the distinction. It's that like, rah.
Like when you hear them, you know it's them.
No doubt, yeah. That's what I loved. So like signature style, you know, that's why.
Yo, is that Rocky? That's Rocky. That's Rocky. Yo. Let's go.
You gotta know.
Hey, to be completely honest too, man, like there's not a lot of like Filipino rappers, Filipino American rappers per se, right? So like your flow like really sticks out a lot to me as well too, because dude, I grew up on old school hip hop.
Yeah,
I got
Yeah.
vinyl. Simone collects vinyl
Yeah.
too. So just
hey.
like hearing it and so similar, but you being brown and Filipino just makes a crazy ass difference. It's crazy, man.
Right on, man. And I gotta wear that. You know, I gotta always rep that. There's some Filipino artists out there who like want to shy away from that in their identity, and then there's some that try to exploit it too, bro. You know what I mean? And they're just like, you know, use that skin like a little too much. So like, I just try to like be true to myself. You know, I am Filipino American. I grew up out here in America, whether you say it's Americanized or not. Like I went back home a lot though. I saw my fam a lot, but knowing that, I'm also like, I got a different experience from them. So I just got to own it up, and I have to put that in my rhymes. You know, you got to channel that in your music and shit. So like, you just can't be fake. And like, if you're not fake, then you won't be insecure. And like, that's why I love what I do. And like, you just got to stay true to yourself. Like, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know
sir.
where that comes from is from your education.
Straight.
And not necessarily on the education, the higher institution, but the fact that you got involved with PEP. And the fact that, you know, in being involved in those organizations, you will learn in regards to your identity, and then you're able to spit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, and I struggled with that at first before I got into those orgs and shit. Like my gateway into that was fucking Pace at SF State.
Yeah.
Shout out. Like I did their programs. I did PCN, and then like when I was in college, like I wanted to like kind of expand on that because I was in school. So like, why the fuck would I not participate in that shit? Like I was like, okay, like I'm not too cool for it, and like I might as well do it. I'm only in college once, so like that led to me like writing music for PCN and then becoming one of the officers and shit, like community and everything. But really, like I was just using that like how you should when you do those orgs. Like, yeah, take that shit seriously, but know that's a stepping platform for y'all to like boost past college orgs. You know what I mean? Don't get hung up on that friendship game shit. Like, just like push past that, and like I hope to see everyone succeed. And I know y'all know that, but that's how I was thinking when I was doing that. Like I was using that to network, like to get into like Manila Town and like by a neon center, like everything in SF, or like, you know, visiting East Bay. Like I did gigs at SJ State, like, you know, for their club stuff. And basically what I'm saying is that made me a little more comfortable in this Filipino community, because like, as much as it's big out here, I was still like a newbie. Like I didn't know anyone, and I don't have any family. Like I only got my mom's out here. Like she moved out here. My family used to live in SF in like the 80s, but moved to the East Coast. So like I have like it's like a spiritual like what's it called? Reunion with the Bay Area. You know what I mean? My family was out here, but I just wasn't. Like I was born in the East Coast, so it was so dope, like people telling me like, oh, we thought you was from out here and shit, just because of like, you know, how I am and like the way I act, whatever. It's cool because like I didn't feel like that at first, but then like being comfortable in those like orgs and helped me be comfortable with my music too. You know what I mean? And then like messing around and like being with Ruby or like performing at the Beat Rock like anniversary sets and shit like that. It was like, okay, dope. Like I'm actually out here. Like they fucks with me, and like, you know, and I'm not from out here too, so that's hella dope to me too. So I'm like dope. Like they respect me. You know, there's other Rockies too. Like don't get me, I love Rocky Rivera and everything. So it's just like it's all love. Like I hella appreciate, you know, everyone out here, like, you know, helping me be comfortable with myself. So it's not just me, it's a community effort, you know, to help people like feel good. You talk about mental like wellness and shit, like it's community. I think that's number one, honestly. Like it's hard to have like to feel good without that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, how long you been in the Bay?
2013.
What?
Since 2013?
Yeah, it's like 8 years almost.
Okay.
Coming up. In
I got a question for you then. I got a question for you. Okay. Who has the best Filipino food in SF?
Wow.
Shout him out. Shout him out.
All right, I'm gonna shout out a couple spots. Shout out to Babies on Mission and Brazil. I think they got like good ass lumpia, bro. Like 100 for $30. That's a great
Okay.
deal. It's a hood spot, bro. You go in there, it's like a house. You know what I mean? So shout out to Babies. Shout out to Superstar. Shout out to Phil Am in Daly City. You know, with the barbecue. That's just gas. You know, you got to shout out to Chelugs and fucking Senior Seasick for doing their thing also. So like respect. You know, all the Filipino spots in that stuff. But to be honest, bro, like. Definitely like Daly City, South City got more spots, you know, than the city itself. So I've been to some dope spots out here in like Oakland and Berkeley, you know, I just forget the names. And they got a lot of hidden spots out all the way out in like Fairfield and fucking Vallejo. Don't forget them. And Antioch. You know, they got great ass Filipino food out there, bro, for real.
Yeah. Make sure you support out. You know, since of the COVID, you know, it's been slowed down. So make sure you come out and support. So yeah.
That's crazy. I really did thought you was from the Bay. When you said East Coast, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I got the hell around, but that makes hella sense. It connects now.
Man, I mean, like SF and DC is like very similar because if you think of like the two coasts, like the powerhouses are LA and New York, and then you got all the cities around, kind of like, hey, we're fucking dope too. You know, don't forget us because in the East Coast, because Philly, Boston, Baltimore. You know, North Carolina, South Carolina, all them joints. But then like out here, it's just like in Cali, it's like either LA or like the Bay. And then you got San Diego too. You know, they're their own joint, in my opinion. And then you got like NorCal. But like the Bay Area is always like, hey, like, I fuck with the attitude out here. That's why I fuck with it. You know what I mean? It's like it's like Bay against everyone. It's like DC against everyone. It's the same thing. Cause out in LA, I love LA too. Like, don't get me wrong. I know hella folks from LA, but it's easy to get lost in the sauce out there. And out here, if you get lost, you get fucked up. You know, you get checked in the Bay. So they'll check you really quick. You know, and I love it. I love it. So you know, this is my home for now. You know, like I live out here, so I'm making money out here. You know,
Yes,
so
sir.
we out here.
Yes, sir. All right, so this is another top 3 question. Top 3 favorite hip hop songs of all time.
Oh, okay.
Just 3.
Yeah, I know.
That's too much.
That's too much pressure.
There's plenty, man. Like,
Let's go top 5. Let's go top 5.
Top 5? Okay, so I mentioned Del because like when I first heard his verse on Clint Eastwood with the Gorillas, I was like, whoa, you could rap like that and be tight. Like that's a song where like it was an animated video and shit. And I was like, okay, that motherfucker's tight. So like that song, the Humpty Dance by R.I.P. Digital Shock, like when I heard that verse, I was like, I gotta learn that verse. Like that verse is crazy. He was going in. Same thing with that like voice, you know what I mean? Like the way they rap. I would have to say, what's it called? Respiration, Black Star. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say Definition by Black Star if I gotta put a Black Star song. And then there's a Ye song in there somewhere. Like it's probably We Major from Late Registration. And Dead Wrong by Biggie and Eminem. If you haven't heard that fucking song, listen to that. I know every fucking word to that joint. That shit's crazy. It's a little inappropriate, but it's really good. And then like some modern shit, I would probably have to say like maybe there's definitely like a Kendrick joint in there somewhere. Like, you know, I just love his whole discography. So probably something off To Pimp a Butterfly. But, you know, I was listening to a bunch of old shit because like it's very influential. Probably a Big L song like Street Struck you know, MVP. You know what I mean? But like hella dope shit like that. But you know what I mean? It's hip hop is dope. It's just like you can't really like top 5 is crazy because it changes every week. You know what I mean? But those are the ones that like just stayed with me like you know throughout my life. Like a lot of shit goes like in and out my head. But like those ones right there, check those out. Those are hella dope.
You said Humpty Dumpty. I was like, okay.
Do the Humpty.
I came to the party to get naughty. Give my rocks
crazy.
Remember that?
Tupac was in that too at the time. Yeah, that was before everything.
That was like one of his first verses. You know, so
Yeah. How about y'all? Top 5 real quick.
Top 5. Biggie, Pac, Nas, and then I add a couple of new folks. J. Cole for sure, and Kendrick.
Okay.
I'm hella blanking. You go first.
I'd say right now, so Tupac for sure. That's like on God all the time with Tupac. I got him tatted on my chest actually. Tupac. I really been to MB Nell a lot lately. He's this Filipino dude from Stockton. Yes, sir. He goes crazy.
Stockton represent.
Yeah, MB Nell, Biggie Smalls, because like with him, you can actually memorize his lyrics. That's the crazy part with like Biggie. Like I could like really like just say things at the top of my head. 2 more, Kendrick of course, and Bamboo. Bamboo.
Right on, yeah.
Yes, sir. Can't forget about
What's
Bamboo. I've asked. He was like my top listened artist last year for 2020, the time of revolution and change in the year 2020. You know.
Yeah. Well, the first one I thought of was like in 6th grade. I used to always listen to Busta Rhymes while walking to school.
Hey.
So probably
Hey.
Busta Rhymes. More a newer artist, I guess, is Mozzie. Obviously Tupac,
Mozzie.
Biggie. That's all I could think of right now. But
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, I like their voices.
Y'all heard it. And can't forget about MC Churro.
MC Churro.
So, MC Churro was our other podcast host, but he couldn't make it today. But he's a big hip hop fanatic. So sad he couldn't be here because he would have been picking your brain left
Okay,
and
for
right,
sure.
man. But
Hell
next
yeah.
time, next
Yeah,
interview,
I'll
man.
pull through again, man. No doubt.
Yes, sir. Okay, so next question for you, Rocky. What was like that turning point where you really thought like, wow, I could do this shit, like rapping straight up?
When I moved out here, bro, to be honest, I was like, shit, no one knows me. Bet, like, I could just do whatever I want. Like, I'm some real shit. I mean, like, to be honest, like, growing up somewhere and like people just knowing, like, when you was a baby and like, you know, when you was young, they're always gonna have that over you. To be honest, they're always gonna look at you like that, like, oh, I knew you, like, so I don't gotta support you, type shit. Not that that's everyone's attitude, but it's kind of like that big bro shit. Like, if I stayed in DC, like, I wouldn't have that same confidence I have if I was out here. And just even the cultural like environment of the Bay Area just amplified that confidence even more. There, it was like, oh yeah, do an open mic. There was opportunities in the city to like perform and shit. So I, you know, when I got out here, I was going to City College. Like the whole story is, bro, like I wanted to go to Berkeley in Boston, which is a music school. I got accepted in there. It's like $60K a year. So I was like, fuck, like I can't afford that yet when I was in high school. And like my parents are split, right? So I was like, I'm gonna go to my mom who recently moved to SF like in 2012, and I'm gonna chill there. She was like, come do like go to City College for a little bit. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna live in SF. There's hella weed out there. It's fucking sick. Cause that's my impression of Cali. Like I didn't know how far SF from LA was. I didn't even know where Oakland was or Sac. Like, you know, coming from where I'm from, like, you don't know shit about California because it's just palm trees and the Hollywood sign. Like, where I'm from, like, you know, it's hard to get to Philly and New York. Like, so coming out here, I was like, okay, bet, like, whatever. Like, I don't know no one. I'll stay out here for a year and go to Boston because I'm hella trying to go to that music school. So I'm at City, right? And, like, I just know all locals now. Like, it's not like newbies and like everything. Like when I went to City, like I met City folk and that was hella cool to me. Like I told them straight, I'm like, yo, I'm not from here. Like I just moved out here. I'm 18 years old. And like, they're like, bet, like we'll fuck with you. And like, you know, if I was like maybe like a square, they probably like take advantage of me or like, you know, rob me or something. But like I was just hella real with them, smoking weed, freestyling, like outside the science building. If you went to City, you know what's up. No one went to class. Like everyone was just out there selling weed, smoking weed, freestyling and shit. And so like I was like, fuck yeah, like I'm going to City. My mom lives in the L's, which is the Tenderloin. So she's on Sutter and like some other street. I ain't gonna say some other shit, but like yeah, I was in there, right? That's why I was living downtown. Right next to her was these dorms for the Academy of Art. And in those dorms was a bunch of 18-year-old college kids like me, not from the city. So I was like, bet, I got some city folk and I got some folk like me, and we could like go out and shit and discover the city together and everything. Yeah. And that's why I met Nug Life, my producer, my boy from LA, you know, my brother. And like when I met him there, like we stayed together like ever since, dropped projects, and like we still, you know, making music to this day. I still go to LA to this day working with him. So like that's tight to me. Like I just met so much city folk out here when I was 18, and I basically stayed, man. And you know, so when you ask like when did you decide to be a rapper, it was like when I hopped on that flight, I got out here, I was like, bet, I don't know anyone. Like I was chilling in so many places like Silver Street, Haight Street, just like, you know, trying to like associate myself with the culture out here. And let me tell you, like back then in 2013, it's different too. Like
right.
Bay Area was different back then also. That's before a lot of shit happened and like a lot of changes in the city. You know, like it was like the year after I moved, the Giants won their like second. You know what I mean? Their second reign. And I was going crazy. I was like, hey, bet. And so like after my first year at City, I was like, all right, I actually dropped out. I dropped out of City because I was like fucking up too hard. Back home, my pops passed away from like heart issues and shit. So, you know, that was hella hard on me like when I was 18 and like I like lost my job that same like I came home from his funeral and I lost my job at Nordstrom Rack because they found some trees in my bag because they gotta search your bag so you don't steal nothing. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, all right, I don't want to work here anyways. And so like that same weekend I dropped out of school because I was just playing GTA 5. It just came out. So I was just playing that shit all month, bro, depressed as fuck. And then like I was like, bet I gotta get out the room, get out the house. I wasn't talking to my mom or nothing. And then like I was like just not doing nothing. So then I was chilling with those academy kids for a little bit. And then I think after like that 420, that first 420 at Hippie Hill, I was like, okay, I'm living my life. This is sick. I'm 18. I'm not in school. Like, you know, it's whatever. Like all these kids are in school, but I'm still doing my thing. And let me tell you, like my content and my music at the time was just lit shit. You know what I mean? This is 2013, bro. So it's still like mixtape era, low key. Like Dat Piff was still a thing. You know what I mean? So like I was just talking about anything, just talking about my Cali lifestyle. And basically like July 5th, 2014, I did some shrooms and like I was like, fuck, I need to go back to school. So I started going to state for film, and then I just like from there on the trajectory just stayed where it is, where like right now, like I actually wanted to go join Pace just because like I wanted to like I passed by one of their PCM practices and like I'm a fool, bro. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? There's hella baddies there. I was like, yo, what? I gotta be in Pace next year type shit. And so like I joined that. And then my whole world changed, bro. Like I did all their workshops. Like my whole mentality changed too. Like my progression. Like I learned about Panayism. I started executing what I was learning, you know, that next year, and just trying to become a better person because I started turning 20, 21, become an older person. I couldn't just be a stoner and just like skipping class no more, right? So we just gotta assert myself, you know, and like at the same time have this music thing behind my back. Like, okay, I'm still an artist. I'm still making music. Now I'm just like learning new things type shit. And bro, like to be honest, man, could you imagine since y'all, I don't know, y'all grew up out here, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
can you imagine not growing up out here and then coming out here when you're 18 though? You know, right at 18, bro, and like, you know, you got nothing to go back to. Like you can't go back home or nothing. So like this was the place to be. And then like, I don't know how it is now though. It's 2021. Shit's different now, you know, in the city.
Sure.
So I'm very blessed to be here at a certain time, or get here at a certain time when shit was still a little bit cool. You know what I mean? There's a little bit more murals up in the city type shit. Less condos, you know. So.
But you gotta give yourself more credit because you know you're able to immerse yourself in the culture, immerse yourself in these places with the people, and be able to like really take those in and you know like you know what I mean.
That's Filipinos, bro.
For sure, we adopt, right? We adopt, and again, like the idea of the importance in regards to learning about your history and being empowered, and it provides you like with in a sense of having a direction. And the moment that you have a direction, you move forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you learn, and that's what happens, you know?
Yeah, and you're blessed with these gifts. You're blessed with the shit that God gives you. So like you're supposed to use those.
For
you
sure,
know?
for
right?
sure.
You're supposed to use that shit.
Young, gifted, and brown.
You gotta live by that, you know? We out here. We really gotta love ourselves, you know?
Yeah. Hey man, I really relate with your story because my dad passed away from heart issues too. I was
Respect.
19.
Yeah.
So I feel you with that. And what I love about that story, bro, is all out of the struggle. You were
Yeah.
able to like reinvent yourself and just find something and find true meaning behind things. And that's how you were able to kind of empower and inspire others, your listeners, and just put that into your music. And that's straight respect, bro. And you know, it's difficult, but sometimes you have to go through those dark nights and dark days in order to be the best version that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So shit.
Yeah, and you know what really took me out of that, bro? What was the fuck? As much as I clown it, like that Filipino club, bro. Like just be like having. I've never had like a group of like people my age like that be like, all right, man, what's up? Like, you know, during those internship programs, whatever, they're like, they let you speak like about your traumas or whatever. Sometimes it could get a little crazy and too much because you're with a bunch of other folks, but like at the same time, wow, like I get to actually talk my shit with like other folks is really cool, you know what I mean? And then I started taking the ethnic studies classes. And then I started taking the classes with Allison and shit, like the Filipino literature classes. And I was like, okay, dope. Like education, like, and even though I'm in this higher institution, it doesn't gotta be like this transactional relationship no more. Wow, I'm experiencing education through art, through mental wellness, like as the forefront. Like, hey, like I've never seen another teacher like in ethnic studies be like, take care of your mental health before the assignments and shit. You know what I mean? Which is like, I understand both mentalities though too. Like, you know, you got to be pushed at the same time. But when I got from those educational experiences, I was like having someone like a mentor, bro. Like that's just such a big difference, bro.
Yeah.
And then the biggest difference though is when you become the mentor, and then like that's how your character really comes out, because you could fuck up, and that's fine too if you grow from that experience. But once you got little ones under you, bro, like you're really like responsible at that point. And I feel like you know, me being a artist, like you got that responsibility too, like what you're putting out on these streets, what you're putting out in this music, you know what I mean? I'm very proud of like my last project because I'm like, wow, like I fuck with everything I'm saying in that, and I respect like my place in that scene too, you know what I mean? With the Bamboos and Ruby Ibarras, like I'm not trying to do too much, but I'm also trying to like just establish like, hey, we're with it, you know what I mean? We're making this music, we're still doing good, and like, yeah, bro, like I feel like the education part of it was just a big impact, and like the mentorship, you know what I mean? You know, it's huge.
Yeah, very important in terms of the people around you and to push you and to challenge you to grow and develop. And I think once you have that, then you, in turn, you do that with other people around you. And you know, so there's growth in a sense of building community. And so and again, it doesn't happen just on a higher institution. You know, there's local community that are organizations that are doing this work. And so, yeah.
Shout out to like Soma Filipinas, because they got like programs for the youth and shit too. You know what I mean? Like it starts when you're young. You know what I mean? Any Filipino community center out there doing programs for the youth, like it's super big. Like anything out there, like more like opportunities we give them and like spaces we provide, like the better off we all are. You know, right?
Yeah. And it's time for the
Absurdity of the day. Let's go. Simone got some for us. Let's go.
Okay,
Oh, it's Simone.
so,
Wait. Just kidding.
It's a little rude. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
But
Wait. I really like your outfit though. You got the shoes matching with the shorts, with
The nails.
You know what I mean?
The nails still green.
The rings.
Favorite color.
Even the
Green Lantern.
is that green a little bit?
Nah, she threw it off.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay, do your thing.
But where'd it go? So since we're talking a lot about like Filipinos and stuff, we're all Filipino.
Okay.
So Filipinos were the first Asians to visit North America, and we're also the second largest Asian community in the United States.
Sheesh.
Yeah, y'all didn't know. I don't know.
Chinese.
I'm not sure.
Probably
Chinese.
Probably Chinese, yeah.
Oh, it is Chinese.
or Indian.
Yeah.
Chinese?
Yeah, it's second.
Chinese?
Yeah,
I believe
Chinese
we're
is first
second.
and second is Filipino.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's 1587 in St. Malo, so St. Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
The first.
Shrimp.
Oh no, the 1700s it was the first settlement, and the 1500 was the landing on Morro Bay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, history lessons.
There we go. Absurdity.
For the day.
There you go.
Now we got our advertisement right over here with Rocky G.
Yo, check out the new Nug Life album, Beat Dispensary 2. I'm all over that motherfucker. We also just dropped a music video for Church and Nug Life. Like, we got more heat coming. And I'm going to throw a show probably like in August or something in the city. I'm still working things out. You already know he's going to be vendoring. And like, I got like all my folks going to be out there performing. We'll see who I'm going to get on the lineup. But come through. Follow me on IG too at ROCKAYYE. Rock A. That's me. And thank you for having me. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And if you're down, let's have it over here in San Jose.
Yo, I'm trying to have a show out here for sure.
Little tour.
Let's go.
Mini tour.
All right. Next question that I got for you. Okay. So you not recently, maybe it was like a month, 2 months ago, you released a song, Be a Rapper, right? With Ruby Ibarra. First off, before you get into the song, I got to ask this because I couldn't freaking figure it out. Did you sample it off a song, or was it just a bunch of old school songs combined into one thing, into your own thing?
You like in my lyrics or like in the beat? Like
The hook.
the hook. I just so like the story of that song, bro. Balak Mine's just performing in LA at Echo Park, like right in the park, at the stadium or the little stage they got over there. It's pretty dope. And so like we had sound check. And then I was like, hey, let's go over to Nug Life Studio really quick. And like, I brought some of the Balak Minds, not all of them. And we basically made that beat there. Like, we use this website called Tracklib to get samples, right? Tracklib, you could better get a bunch of like songs and like clear them. You know what I mean? So almost all the music on Filipinos in Space, like all the samples comes from that website. And I'm able to clear those samples and make money off of it. For instance, like the third song is like an Isaac Hayes sample that costs $500, but I'm able to make that money back. You know what I mean? Through streams. So like when we were doing that song, I was like, bet Miko was like sampling the drums. Mr. Ray was chopping up the whole sample. Cause like the song is like, if you hear it, it's like something you really want, you know, and you better reach out. Nah, 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 nah. It was like, hell, that's hella dope. Let's chop it up, make it a boom bap joint for me and Ruby, and then we could feature the Balak Binds. Like that was my plan, bro. Like going into the album, I was like, all right, like how am I gonna include these fuckers in my album since I'm in their band right now, you know? So I was like, bet this would be perfect for Ruby to rap on, and then Angelo's gonna hop on the bass really quick. Mon's gonna play the trombone while I play sax. It was just perfect, and then like hopefully we could perform it soon live, you know, because we haven't been able to perform it and shit. But yeah, it's like I was just like, bet, like, this is a space for me and Ruby to talk about some hip hop shit, not just like, you know, we're brown, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, cool, like, let's talk about the culture and why we like where we're at, and you know, talk about our influences, and like, as a guest in this space of hip hop, you know, because it's a black genre, you know, so like, it's a way for us to celebrate it. And I thought, like, if me and Ruby will have our first song together and have a video, that would be something sick to do, you know, because we're already on that Filipino tip. So like, if people could see that video and be like, okay, wow, they're sick with it, then like that's all I could ask for, you know, if they fuck with the flows and shit, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to Maz. You mentioned Maz.
Yeah.
He just put out a music too. I'm like a rap, dude.
He's a spitter, bro.
I was like, what? Maz, let's go.
Yep.
Dang, that's so crazy because I spent a good week. I asked like 10 people, like, bro, do you know what the song sampled? I was looking through like all my old school songs.
That's
like,
tight.
damn.
So that means it sounds classic. You feel me? Like, it's like, if people are like, damn, what does it sound like? You know, if it does sound like something, don't sue me. I swear to God, we came up with that shit like on the spot. I was like, I was in the studio with like that same session. I was like, be a rapper. Like, okay, that'd be sick. So like, I laid the hook down, and then we took it back to the Bay. And then that's when I had like everyone lay down their parts. And the last part was Ruby. You know, she was the last part of the album. I was waiting for that verse, and then she sent it, and it was cool. Like that last part where we're going back and forth, like I wish we did that in the studio together, but whole time I just did my part. I wrote my part first, and she filled in the gaps.
Oh, shit.
She just responded to it.
It's kind of crazy, right?
Crazy.
That's some insider shit right there. So I hope that doesn't change your experience listening to it.
It was like that Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg type of flow, back to back. Yeah, and even the MV, the music video, y'all had like that straight 90s throwback type of clothing.
Yep. Shout out to my homies Dom and JoJo for styling us. Like that's all their clothes. Like that's all vintage, like thrifted clothing. Like, you know what I mean? I was able to keep some of it too. But like, shout out to them. Like we told them what we were going for. We were like just like old school music video. You know, not really no story or nothing. We just kind of wanted to like make ourselves icons, you know what I mean? Make ourselves forever. Like in that video, like you could grab an image from that video and be like, okay, put that in a hip hop book type shit, you know what I mean? So like, shout out to them for making us look dope, man. For real.
This is a thrifter right over here.
Oh, hell yeah.
He always thrifting.
Save money.
See money. So what type of message do you hope to send to your listeners with the music that you put out?
Man, I don't know, bro. Like, it's forever changing. Like, just like, if it has to have a message, it's like, okay, this motherfucker is like himself. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's not like a industry plan or nothing like that, or like, oh, he's just trying to like say these things and not really execute it. Like, I want him to just believe me in whatever I say, because I don't want to be like, oh, this is my message, because like, it's not really how it works for artists. You know what I mean? Like throughout history, you know what I mean? They kind of just create, and that's kind of what I do too. And like, whether it's in a movie or something, like I hope just people like really believe it's me, unless it's a cash grab. Like if they want me to make a Marvel movie, bro, I'll make that shit. You know what I mean? Like fuck yeah, like I'll make a Thor movie or whatever. Like, cause that's the road for independent filmmakers. Low key, they'll make their sick ass shit and then they'll go do a Marvel movie. You know, like shout out to Chloe Zhane and shit. Like she doing Eternals, and like she just did her Nomadland. So like, I'm saying like, you know, if you know that I'm doing something for money, then like, you know what I mean? Like, but we out here like in my music and in my messaging, like I just want them to believe me, straight up.
How much does mental health really play into the role into music creation, you as an artist, et cetera, et cetera?
Man, I mean, I would just say like it's me practicing it, like it's practicing wellness, like for sure, like being able to create. Imagine like just living anywhere else and being not able to not only create but like get inspiration. Like imagine being in China, bro, and having your internet restricted, like, you know, something like that, or even in the Philippines, like having access to information restricted. So when I think of like, you know, how blessed I am to even make music, bro, like I'm just like, okay, like I'm cool. Like that's all I got to think about, you know. When you think of perspective, you think of that puzzle piece I was talking about, like it's like, okay, like I'm very blessed, you know. I'm very blessed to be in the position I am. Because there's also folks like me, my age, my same struggle, that are probably even more raw than me, but they just probably don't get the same opportunities, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very blessed to have that pipeline I went through, including like those orgs and like where I'm at right now, like all these different mentors I got. Like, bro, like, you know, I work at this weed club, right? My manager's Bamboo. So it's pretty sick. Like, I do media with him. So like, I'm saying like, I'm very blessed to like say that. So when you tell me like, you know, like, or ask me like, how does mental health like play into my shit? I'm like, bro, like I'm not even like struggling as much as other folks. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm very grateful for my opportunities, and like, I know where I used to be. You know what I mean? Like, I knew, like, when I was 18, 19, like, doing hella drugs, like, smoking hella weed, just fucking up. Like, I was like, bro, like, if this is my life, like, you know, for now, but I'm happy to say every single year since I moved out here, bro, there's been a level up. There's never been, like, low-key a down year. There's been down moments. Like, I've like, took L's and shit, but, like, I'm able to say, like, as I turn 26 next week, like, bet, like, I did some shit this year. So like, I just got to keep that going. You know what I mean? Like, I got to keep being there for my lady, being there for my mom, and like my sisters are doing their thing. So as long as everything's like straight, I'm straight. You know.
What's the weed club? Shout
Shout out to Barbary Sunset on Irving and 23rd, right next to T Pumps. You feel
Okay.
me?
Oh, shit.
In the Sunset. They treat me cool there, bro. I sell a bunch of weed to old white folks. You know.
Okay,
It's cool, bro. Like, fam comes through, like they see me, they see Bam, they're like, what? You know, and like I always think, come through, bro. We'll hook you up and shit.
We got you.
I'm about to start working at this other shop too in North Beach, like in the city. So like, yeah, hit me up. Hit me up if you need any video shit too, bro. I'm trying to sharpen my tool with my camera and everything, you know. So like, yeah, we out here, bro. Like I'm blessed, bro. We blessed. We looking good, you know.
Question. As a musician, an artist that you put yourself out there, how do you respond to criticism, especially online? Do you have trolls?
I mean, honestly, bro, I have seen a few, like, not a lot of haters, bro. You know, if I got haters, fuck you, man. You know what I mean? They ain't never say nothing to my face. You know, feel me? Like, it's whatever, bro. Like, if I have to deal with criticism, it's probably my fault. Like, if I made some whack shit, I made some whack shit, bro. And that's how confident I am in myself. You know what I mean? Like, if I get criticized, I probably deserve it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, if it's some fugazi shit, I'll know. It's like, okay, you're just a hater. Like, as an artist, like, oh, there is, like, oh, you got haters, you're doing the right thing. But at the same time, bro, you gotta kind of process them and like be like, if it's worth your time or not, you know? Because if someone's calling you out for some fake shit, you gotta take that like not like a man. Because gender, you know what I mean? Like, take that as like a fucking grown up, you know what I mean? Like, take it. Like, if you did some fucked up shit, own up to it. So, like, so far, nothing. Okay. But, like, we out here, you know, so I'm always open to any criticism. If you want to, like, talk to me about my lyrics, I'm open to discussion, anything about that, you know? But I'm all about that, you feel me? Like, if I wasn't in school, I'd probably be a little more controversial. But
No, I think that's a dope take on that. I think the idea that, yes, if there's criticism, you'll be able to kind of look at yourself and figure out like if there is something that you can be better at. And
it's coming from somewhere.
For sure. And there's truth in those criticism, and it might be a different view or subjective, but there's a piece of that where you can always grow from that.
Yeah, it could also just be how they respond to your art, and if there's something in their life that you triggered or something with your music, which I'm open to like talking to people about.
That's what's up.
Hopefully, like I never said no fucked up shit like that. Fuck up your traumas or nothing.
We'll check you.
If you do, let me know, because that's tight. Maybe we share some shit.
It's the people that's closest to you will be the first one to let you know. You know what I mean?
When you were younger, do you think that you would have taken like the criticism the same way?
No, I probably would have ignored it actually, like even more. I probably would have been like, man, like, you know, whatever. Like, it's just like, well, when you're younger, you're more bold, to be honest, and you have less responsibilities, like, you know, and like now that I'm more responsible about like who my family is too, and like who's around me that have to eat with me, you know what I mean, and have to like that bank on my bank type shit, like, you know, I gotta be more responsible in terms of shit like that. So, but when I was younger, bro, like, I don't give no fucks, like, you know, I barely had a bank account, you know, so like, you know, I probably wouldn't, if I got success at 18, like, who knows what our psyches are gonna be like, you know? And you see that with artists these days.
The less you have, the less you care.
Exactly. Yeah.
So on a positive note, what advice would you give to younger people, younger creatives who are trying to get into the game, the rap game specifically, right? What advice would you give?
Man, stay the fuck out my way. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Move,
Yeah,
get out the way.
But like that's true though. You got to make your own lane. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna try to attack a scene, you got to really approach like, okay, like is this right? I don't know, man. Like I don't know what I'm saying. Like it's just do your thing, bro. Like I can't tell you if you're a aspiring filmmaker, aspiring poet, whatever. You're not aspiring. You're doing it at that point. So I say you just don't be fake and don't be entitled. Because you come across entitled folks these days that think like, oh, just because I got the talent, like I can do it. You know what I mean? But it's way more than that. You got to put in the work. You got to understand the business side of things. People think like, oh yeah, like when I get a fucking manager or like a business person, they can handle everything. They can handle my finances. Like, but no, like you got to order those shirts yourself. You got to run that merch table. You got to do it. You got to understand the industry you're trying to attack if you're trying to be an artist and make money. Because if you're just trying to do shit for Instagram and for your hobby, that's a whole nother thing. But if you're trying to go like my route and like eat off this and inspire and like, this is what you are, like, and that's the cool thing about working like a weed club, you know what I mean? Like I could have a career in legal cannabis. More brown people should be in legalized cannabis and shouldn't just be like white folk. So like, at the same time, like I could do that and still be an artist, still take photos, still do videos and shit. So like I say do that. Like if you're gonna mainstream your shit, like that's cool, but you should do as much shit as possible because we need more artists, I'm talking to the brown artists out there, black and brown artists, you feel me? Like keep doing your shit. Don't let like if they take out your arts programs out in your school stop you. Like just do shit on your own, you know what I mean? Thrift a camera, whatever, like you could do it. Like Louis Armstrong got his trumpet from like scraping pennies, you feel me? So like that's what you gotta do. You gotta hustle for your art.
Sure.
Start from the bottom up. I remember when I first started DJing, every DJ would have like their own little box. I was DJing on the Timberland box.
Fuck yeah, bro.
You can't forget that too,
Man, and like even the equipment we got, like I said, I'm 20, about to turn 26. When I was 18, the amount of shit that I have now from stacking and like building my studio and getting like a Guitar Center gift card or credit card, shit like that. I don't recommend getting a credit card, but if you're an artist, you're probably gonna get a fucking credit card, just to buy some shit, bro. And like, like if you're just well off, like good for you, like invest, get your studio set up. But if you was like me and you were struggling and battling like a weed addiction and like spending money, like, you know what I mean? You gotta save up, bro. You gotta just stack and do your thing. So before you buy that eighth, bro, really think like, do I have an interface? Like, do I got speakers? Like, think about that first. 'Cause I wasn't thinking that, So think about your money too as an artist. I think that's important.
Yeah. So the year 2020 was basically halfway taken away from us.
Right.
I mean, most of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially for artists, it hit us hard. Especially if that was something you were eating off of. So. What do you hope to accomplish for the year 2021? We're already halfway in the year.
Damn, just doing as much shows the second half. I feel like this summer, like, it's gonna be chill. I'm gonna see this Bamboo show in Oakland and see what's up with it. Let's see how they're doing it. And then like when I do my joint in August, like I just want to perform a lot, man. Like, and I feel like a lot of us have anxiety, bro, because it's just like fuck, like we're really back into it. Like I just saw like someone's like performance video the other day. There was in Oakland and there was like a sea of people and I was like, fuck, am I ready for that again? Because like even just doing that Undiscovered show, I was like, that's a lot of people. Like I was with it though, most of that crowd like I kind of knew too, so that's kind of cool. But just to perform a lot, bro, and maybe drop some new music later on this year. But like honestly, bro, like I'm trying to get my finances straight, pay off some credit card debt, low-key, like I've been talking about that.
It's all that equipment.
And like this low-key, bro, pandemic, bro, I got a new spot. I got to pay rent, car insurance. This is low-key the first year where I'm like self-sustained. Like my mom ain't helping me at all. Not that she was helping me a lot before, but she would look out for me, make sure I'm fed and shit. But she was like, I was like, bet, like it's cool. I could do it. I was off EDD for half of this year before I started working at the weed club, bro. I was going to fucking BOA. You know what I mean? Even though I didn't need to. You could go to any ATM type shit. But those stimmies, I was stimulated, so that's cool. Yeah, so like I feel like just getting the finances is cool because like earning more money than I earned last year. I feel like we should focus on that for our people. You know what I mean? Like if we're good and our family's good, then we'll be chill. The art scene's gonna be cool too. I feel like the spaces are opening up. You know what I mean? Bay Area, I think we're chill.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're chill in the Bay. They got opportunities for us to perform.
What day you going to the Bamboo Show? I'm going to the Saturday one.
I don't know yet, bro. I'm gonna ask him like, can I perform like Diddy Bop with you, bro?
I'ma
Like,
see you
what's
then,
up?
bro.
Let
I'ma
me
see you.
perform both days. Yeah.
Let's go. Y'all want to go to the Bamboo Show?
Yeah,
Let me know. Let me know.
Let's go. We're finna pull
But
up, bro.
I'll probably just be there, bro. No worries. Like I'll probably take photos or something and be there. And,
Alright, bro.
You know what I mean? I'll see you, bro.
I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you
Yeah.
then. That's actually gonna be the first concert I'm going to after.
Right
COVID
on.
and shit.
Oh, really?
You haven't been to anything?
No, actually, I've been to a few shows actually, like actual like big show like that.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
But no, I feel you with the anxiety stuff. Like I got like my first like real like big show, like a club event. I'm
Okay.
in downtown San Jose next month, and I'm kind of nervous about it. Like
Fuck
shit,
yeah.
it's been a while since I've been doing that. You know?
I think the energy will be right, and I think that anxiety is coming from a good place, bro. You know, I feel like when you're in there, you're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!" You see the bottle girls, you see everyone just like chilling. You're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!" You know, half masks, half no masks. I already see it happening. It's the 15th, right, when they're lifting everything, like all the
Yeah,
COVID
yeah.
Next week?
protocols.
In 2 days.
That's in 2 days.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
that
Yeah,
mean like
15.
mask off?
Yeah,
Is that what they're
everything's, like-
saying?
Open.
Mask off. Molly Percocet. Just kidding.
Shit's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, outside lands is happening this fall. Like,
yeah.
Oh shit.
yeah, like
Outside
festivals
lands.
are coming back. So like,
Have you performed at a festival yet?
not that big yet. I feel like my next step into that game would probably try to do like Hyrule Day or something like a hip hop fest like that. You know what
Okay.
I mean? But whatever. Like, you know, I would love to do some shit like that. That's all money though. That's all
Yeah,
booking
yeah.
agents and like
Yeah.
politics too.
So what?
I'm trying to get Ruby on them joints. Like,
Okay,
she should be
Ruby.
on them.
Okay.
Like, before me, like, there's other folk that need to get on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
There's
you
a
see
lot.
the footage of that Flip Top Festival in the Philippines?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
if you look at that, like, that shit crazy, bro.
Flip Top,
like,
crazy.
You know, like, if I could go to the Philippines, that'd be tight, too, just to perform. Like,
that'd be
it's been a minute.
That's the one that Bamboo performed at. Flip
Yeah,
Top,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Flip Top is like the battle rap. Yeah, they're dope as fuck. I keep an eye on them. I watch every time they put out. I'm like watching it. They got some dope ass artists.
I know. I
funny,
wish I
though.
could
It's
speak it
crazy.
because they be speaking in Tagalog and shit. So I'd be like, damn, it sounds cool. It sounds funny. It sounds crazy. You know, like,
I'm blessed because I get.
lucky, bro.
But in terms of my question to you is, how can folks, viewers, or how can we, community support you?
Like as an artist,
Yeah.
like perform. I mean, just showing up to these performances. I mean, hey, like you see these NBA games with the fans going crazy. So like, I expect a lot of that. Like people don't know how to act at first, you know, at these shows. So that's why I'm like, cool. Let's have these other people have shows first, and then I'll throw mine a little later. You know, people get their crazy energy out and shit. But I feel like, you know, just like showing up. It's hard these days probably to leave the house. I think it's, you know, but. You know, as much as people want to leave, they're probably also as much like, I'm gonna stay inside. You know,
Need to get
so
out.
yeah. So I feel like, you know, don't double book on your homies' shows. Like, you know, schedule your shit out in advance and like just think about like if you want to 18 and up, 21 and up, think about the safety of your shows. Think about if you got security. Is it safe for women there? You know what I mean? Think about all of that. So if your show's well thought out, you know, everyone can have a good time, you know. So I wish you well on your San Jose club joint. I should pull up, bro. That sounds
Hey,
lit.
bro, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
They're all gonna pull up too.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
letting
go.
them know. I'm trying to like pack it up like crazy and all that. So that'd be
It's
dope.
like a summer fest like night or something.
No, just
like,
a club, 21 and up,
okay,
level
cool.
44. That's
Okay.
the joint over there. But yeah, no, because if you go to downtown, have you been to the downtown San Jose clubs?
Yeah, one of my first gigs in the Bay was at the Agenda Lounge. You know, that's it's probably not even a thing no more, but it was like just some club, bro.
Maybe rebranded. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you go to like downtown, like right now,
It's
like
poppin'?
it's like it's like a block party. Everything is
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't know if SF's
live
the same
music
thing.
outside. Too,
Yeah.
and shit. Okay, cool. I should pull through. Like, what's a good time to come out here? Like Fridays, Saturdays, Which
Fridays
one?
or Saturdays, man. If you out here, man, we'll take care of you.
Okay, right on.
San Jose, man, we got you. Do you come down here a lot?
Nah, I
Oh,
don't, bro.
really?
Only for band practice in Milpitas, bro. Like at the
Seafood
Seafood
City?
City. Yeah,
For the balikbayan.
yeah. So I got a cousin out here in SJ, but like you know, usually not. Like it's not really. I gotta go home too in the city. So if I
Yeah, it's
got
far.
people out here, you know, I love to come out here more often, bro.
Yeah. And you know, I offer my space if
Yeah,
balikbayan need
I'll be
a-
knocking on your window.
For
bro.
sure.
Hey,
Yeah, man, it's open. Like however you want to use it.
Yeah, Mike, I really love how you're really trying to like turn this into a big type of community space
Yeah.
for like the Filipino community as a whole, man. So I'm gonna pop in here one day. I'm like, oh shit, Rocky G, what's up, bro?
Sleeping on the couch. You feel me?
Yeah, because you know what I hate to see is like these empty buildings that's not being used.
That's what this was.
No, just generally. Like,
Yeah.
these empty buildings, like it could be used for the community or people that are in need.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like it's just a waste of fucking shit. Like
Yeah.
and so that's why I'm like, if I have a space, like I wanna allow the community to maximize it in a sense, right?
Right.
If there's organizations that want to use it, if there's like artists that want to rock with it, if whatever you're doing, creatives, that's why everybody's here. And so that's what I hope to bring is like, let's build community, you know what I mean? So that's what I hope to practice.
And that's what's dope about the Filipino community as a whole. We always building.
Yeah.
We coming up like
Uplifting.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
we coming
no,
up like
really.
crazy. Like all these artists and all that too. It's like, she's and we're all a
Yeah.
part of it.
It's also different in San Francisco. You have different like institutions and organizations. San Jose actually has a lot more Filipinos. Well,
Yeah.
South Bay but they're more spread out.
Right.
And so
A lot
there's-
more neighborhoods and
yeah,
shit.
there's not necessarily like a space for Filipinos other than Seafood City.
You're right. Yeah, no, it's true.
In the sense of
Shit.
so I'm trying to build like a cultural center. Like I want this like if you're looking for anything Filipino, like this is it. Like I want it to be this space. So
Yeah. Mike, Simone, is there anything else that you want to ask Rocky before he plugs anything that he wants to say? Any final words?
It's kind of like off topic. Not
Okay,
off
go ahead.
topic, but
Go
like
ahead.
you mentioned you played the sax and I saw on your Instagram. How long have you been playing?
So the 4th grade is when
Oh,
I
wow.
first picked up sax from like the school program. Like they came through. I played violin when I was like 6, and then I had some piano lessons too. But when 4th grade came, that's when you could join band in middle school, like beginner band. And I was like, bet. The reason why like I kind of like overachieved was because I used to have like this crazy like ass underbite, but the underbite kind of made my tone pretty chill. And then when my teeth got better, like growing up, like I adjusted my embouchure and like I was able to have a cool tone like all throughout high school and shit. And so I kind of stuck with that. And then when I was in high school, I switched schools from sophomore to junior year. I went to the school in DC called Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And like I had like this fucking master. Like my sax teacher, Davey Yarborough, was a beast. He played the sax in the theme song for the Cosby Show. Like he was a beast, man. And like shout out to him for music education, and like those programs hella helped me like become what I am. That's how I was able to get into Berkeley, because it's a hard ass school to get into type shit. Kind of, because they want your money, so they'll take musicians. But like I was proud to get into that music school, you know what I mean? So being out here and being able to like still play with like Bayans of all bands too is hella dope to me, because there's other Filipino sax players, you know what I mean, like even better than me, like whatever, but like I'm just able to implement it in my music. So like yeah, it's cool. I've been playing for like almost 20 years now. Holy shit.
Gee,
a little longer. I should be way better. But see, on my drive home, I'm gonna be depressed now. Like damn, I should have practiced more. But it's whatever. Yeah, there's always room to grow, always room to perform and shit. So like, yeah, I've been playing for a minute.
Yeah.
if I had any question,
Yeah.
no, I'm good. I'm chill. I'm just enjoying my man, his presence. We're gonna chop it up right after.
Any last words you want to say to the listeners and to this whole interview, man?
Support this podcast. Support these folks for sure in all their endeavors. And thank you so much for like tuning into this episode and like listening this far. Yeah, I'm always like blessed for these spaces to like let me talk. My girl says I talk too much, so like she hears like way too much of this shit all the time from me, like shit. So it's just like thank you for like letting me like ask me dope questions and like just talk about like this part of my journey, because I feel like we're in this crazy part of our lives post COVID, so like it's cool that y'all documenting this scene right now, you know what I mean, because it's always gonna move forward. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, bro, thank you for your dope ass energy, man. You answered and you talked about your struggles, your victories, and everything, and you probably inspired a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
Man, the fans are gonna be waiting for this one.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man.
All right, y'all. PYB, pretty young, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
We're out.
Bro, you got a song that's pretty young brown, right?
Young Gifted and Proud,
Young
right?
Gifted and
Yeah.
That's why.
Fuck yeah.
Oh no, something else.
Out.